been so lonely, and a smile from you might make these blues go away.
I called up my loved ones, I called up my cousins, I called up the Muslims, said I'm about to go dumb. Get so bright it's no sun, get so loud I hear none. Scream so loud got no lungs, hurt so bad I go numb. I done had a bad case of too many bad days, got too many bad traits, use the floor for ashtrays, I don't do shit halfway, I'ma clear the cachet, scream so loud got no lungs, hurt so bad I go numb.
How about now? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Scuff Stream. We got a bombshell of information today. Just way, way, way too much going on. Everything over the past 3 weeks has led up to something clearly definitive. And let me just get this out the way. There's audio, right? Susan, you're probably late. It's okay. But let me just get out the way. This has been the worst Black History Month ever. Just Jussie Smollett, Katy Perry, the fashion industry, the governor of Virginia, who tried to moonwalk during the press conference when he said, yeah, I dressed up in blackface, but only to portray Michael Jackson during a moonwalk contest when I was in high school. They were like, can you moonwalk right now? He's like, looking at the flow. What? Is this tile? Is this wood? Marble? Yeah, I can moonwalk right here. His wife had to stop him. Yo. Worst Black History Month ever. And well, we got 7 more. We got 1 more week. Man, please don't let no white supremacists shoot up a church somewhere. That's all I'm asking for. Like, can we just get through the rest of Black History Month without nobody targeting black people or just doing something crazy? I don't know. I don't even want Jesse Jackson to die. Like, Al Sharpton, like, can we just keep them on life support? It's just, I know it's crazy to say that. Anyway, so at 5 a.m. this morning, Mr. Smollett decided to turn himself in to the Chicago Police Department and face the music, which he has not done up until today. He has been, dare I say, bruised rib shuffling the whole time, saying that we're crazy for not believing him. We're the ones with issues. How could you not believe that? It's real simple because none of it makes sense. Now I'm willing to admit that everything and anything is possible. But when it comes to being out in sub-freezing temperatures at 2 in the morning in one of the most liberal cities, better yet, one of the most liberal neighborhoods in all of Chicago, where nobody, anywhere, nobody would be dumb enough to be just mobbing out. If you had told me this has happened in Alabama, 2 blocks away from a bar that just let out, maybe, might believe it. I was like, well, it's Alabama. If you told me this happened, man, you could have told me this happened in California. If you told me this happened in Hayward, California, Castro Valley, California, San Lorenzo, California, maybe even Milpitas, California, possibly Fremont, California, I might believe you. I might believe you if you told me this happened in San Francisco, California. I would definitely believe if you told me it happened in Gilroy, California. Or Lodi, California. Heck, I might believe it if you told me it happened in Stockton, California. But yo, this did not happen in the gay black district, the affluent gay black district in Chicago, Illinois. And now, after all this speculation, all the hashtags, I stand with Jussie, I believe Jussie, he would never lie to us, it's not gonna happen, nope. After all that, finally turned himself in, and we got some scathing commentary from Eddie P. Johnson. Scathing. Eddie T. Johnson, excuse me. Scathing comments. Y'all want to listen to them? Because I haven't listened to them in their entirety yet. But since you guys are coming in, I think we should listen to the scathing, harsh, brutal, and downright keeping it real comments from Eddie T. Johnson, who's the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, who laid into Jussie Smollett this morning. Let's just get, we got to get into it. We got to get into it because people need to know how it affected people on the ground who spent man hours. Detectives got taken off of cases that could have been solved. They got a 1-year-old kid who got shot in the head a couple days ago. Jesse's flight was delayed for the attack originally scheduled for 10 p.m. That's true. That's true. We're going to get to all that. We're going to get to, man, we got so much today. Had it scheduled for 2 a.m. per the phone records. Cutie Pie says, I know some people are just willfully ignorant. But we didn't have to be there to know that it didn't happen. Yo. From day one, I said this was all bunk. This is BS. People tried to tell me, like, oh, come on, Ryoga, you don't know everything. You don't know everything, Ryoga. It's still possible. How you like me now? Mr. Eddie Johnson, please inform us on how this has affected the good people of Chicago, Illinois.
Good morning, everyone. Before I get started on why we're here, as I look out into the crowd, I just wish that the families of gun violence in this city got this much attention.
Facts, yo.
Because that's who really deserves
Facts,
the amount of
yo.
attention that we're giving to this particular incident. So this morning, I come to you not only as the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, but also as a black man who spent his entire life living in the city of Chicago.
Go ahead and throw the identity politics at him. I don't care right now. That is acceptable. And I want you guys to notice. Look around. Look around. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We haven't seen the full shot, but I guarantee you, everyone who's standing on this stage are people who directly worked on this case.
I know the racial divide that exists here. I know how hard it's been for our city and our nation to come together. And I also know the disparities, and I know the history. This announcement today recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. Tried to start a race war. I'm left hanging my head and asking why.
Why? Why?
Anyone, especially an African-American man, used the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations.
Real talk, son. Real talk.
How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile?
Jussie Smollett is an opportunist.
How can an individual who's been embraced by the city of Chicago
embraced
turn around and slap everyone in this city in the face by making these false claims?
Smacking the citizens of Chicago. The humanity of it. Just smacking people.
Bogus police reports cause real harm. They do harm to every legitimate victim who's in need of support by police and investigators, as well as the citizens of this city.
Preach on it, Eddie T. Johnson.
Chicago hosts one of the largest pride parades in the world, and we're proud of that as a police department and also as a city.
Testify!
We do not, nor will we ever tolerate hate in our city.
Tell it!
Whether that hate is based on an individual's sexual orientation,
preach,
race, or anything else.
Everybody's welcome here.
So I'm offended by what's happened.
Offended.
And I'm also angry.
Angry.
I love the city of Chicago and the Chicago Police
Big
Department.
up to Chi-Town.
But this publicity stunt was a scar that Chicago didn't earn and certainly didn't deserve.
A stunt? Yo, you ain't Super Dave Osborne. You ain't Evel Knievel. You stunting out here.
To make things worse, the accusations within this phony attack received national attention for weeks. Celebrities,
3 weeks,
news commentators, and even presidential candidates weighed in on something that was choreographed by an actor. First, Smollett attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial, homophobic, and political language.
Also, there was white powder in the letter, which turned out to be aspirin, so they say. And the feds and the postmaster inspector are still pending charges on that one. This motherfucker gonna do Fed time in the Supermax. Okay, he's not gonna do Fed time in the Supermax, but yo, that's Fed time. Going to Club Fed.
When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process. And why?
Yo!
This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary.
What? What? You saying the man mad because he wasn't getting no bread at the office? This man supposed to be a big star. He on a hit-rated television show. You say he mad because of his pay? Ain't your agent supposed to handle shit like that? Right? Right? You telling me this whole thing was over money? Suspect.
So he concocted a story about being attacked. Now, our city has problems. We know that. We have problems that have affected people from all walks of life.
Gotcha, bitch.
And we know that.
Tell it!
But
Thanks
to
for the
put
follow,
national
Nicholas.
Spotlight on Chicago for something that is both egregious and untrue is simply shameful.
Egregious and
I'm
shameful.
also concerned about what this means moving forward for hate crimes.
The tragedy, baby.
The Chicago Police Department will continue to investigate all reports of these types of incidents with the same amount of vigor that we did with this one. But my concern is that hate crimes will now publicly be met with a level of skepticism that previously didn't happen.
Skeptics.
That said, Smollett was treated as a victim throughout this investigation.
At last, the
An
observer comes forward.
Thank you for the follow, Polar Knight.
I couldn't be more proud of the unrelenting detective work that went into this investigation. And I couldn't be more proud of every investigator that played a part in it.
Oh, how many detectives?
The detective work that we saw in this case is indicative
12.
of the work that our detectives do every day.
Thanks for the
in this
follow.
city. This case in particular involved hours of video evidence, which when combined with old-fashioned police work.
Thanks for the follow. Oh my God, I'm on the follow stream.
These detectives deserve all the credit in the world for carefully analyzing the leads and the evidence for weeks.
Thank you
before
to the
coming
Chicago
their conclusion.
PD. Good men up
I'd
there.
also like to thank the
Doing
FBI
God's work.
for their help in this investigation. The FBI's
I see you,
partnership
Nicholas.
with CPD
1980
has been pivotal in this particular case.
I see you. 1987, Tawana Bradley staged a hoax hate crime similar to Jussie Smollett. That's right. And who was representing her at the time? Who was representing Tawana Bradley at the time? Y'all know who. Fake. People wonder, like, why would someone do a hate crime? Black people don't do. Yo. Do I need to go and do how many fake hate crimes black people have been responsible for? And obviously I'm not saying all black people. I'm barely even saying some black people. I'm saying that people happen to use their race and the privilege of sympathy of their race to enact false, hate-filled, divisive, damn near race war starting BS. Keep talking to us, Ellie.
I only hope that the truth about what happened receives the same amount of attention that the hoax did.
Can we get the truth?
I'll continue to pray for this troubled young man who resorted to both
Pray.
drastic and illegal tactics to gain attention.
After all that, we still want to pray for him. This man's a saint.
I'll also continue to pray for our city, asking that we can move forward from this and begin to heal. And now I'd like to call up Commander Edward Watnicki, who personally led this patient and deliberate investigation, to walk everyone through how the Chicago Police Department arrived at this point.
Come on up, Mr. Watnicki. Oh, I don't have that part of the thing. I'm sorry. It's my bad. I do want to. You know what? Let's we're gonna move from that. And there is. I do want to hear from the lawyer or the attorney. They believe this is the state attorney or the city attorney. I just know it's an attorney. Let's hear her comments.
Smollett stated that he wanted them to appear to attack him on the evening of January 28, 2019, near his apartment building in Streeterville. Defendant Smollett also stated he wanted the brothers to catch his attention by calling him an Empire F, Empire N. Defendant Smollett further detailed that he wanted Abel to attack him, but not hurt him too badly, and to give him a chance to appear to fight back.
So he wanted the big brother to throw the hands on him. But hey, I want you to beat me up, but not too bad. And give me a chance to fight back. But Mr. Smollett supposed to be the gay Tupac, right? Right? Ain't that what Mr. Smollett said? He said he's the gay Tupac. So yeah, beat me up, but not too bad. F out of here, yo.
Defendant Smollett also included that he wanted Ola to place a rope around his neck, pour gasoline on him, and...
Gasoline! The whole time we've been talking about bleach. Gasoline, yo! It was gonna set him on fire on accident.
yell, "This is MAGA country." Prior to the brothers getting out of Smollett's car, Smollett provided Abel with a $100 bill to purchase the rope, gasoline, ski mask, gloves, and the red baseball caps, which resemble the ones that say, "Make America Great Again."
This... I have it as loud as I can. I know it's hard to hear.
The ride from Cinscape Studios to the Osendero brothers' home and the meeting between Smollett and the brothers is corroborated by CPD pod videos and cellular phone tower data of Smollett's phone number. The stage attack lasted 45
And we don't even know what information the feds probably gave them through all this.
seconds, and it was just outside the view of the desired nearby camera that Smollett had pointed out to the brothers approximately 15 hours earlier.
I want to hold on this. So this attack took place. Hey, hemorrhoid cream. Wow, they let that. I want to hold on that because one of the things the detective said in a statement was that when they went to go view the area with Smollett to retrace the steps of the attack, Smollett pointed, when he was with the detectives, he pointed to the camera saying, "I'm so glad there's a camera there because I think this would have picked it up." Turns out the camera was pointed in the opposite direction.
Smollett also told police that the incident happened near a camera, which he stated should have captured the attack.
See? See?
This is the same camera that
Gotcha,
Smollett
gotcha,
pointed
bitch.
out to the Osendero brothers
Thanks for
in
the follow.
preparation of this staged attack. This investigation shifted from a hate crime to disorderly conduct. And at 5 a.m. this morning, defendant Smollett was placed into custody at the Area Central Police Headquarters.
Yo. Yo, son. Too much going on. Didn't have to do all that. They didn't have to do all that. Let's go over some more details we might be redundant, but I think there's some more details to go over. So 9 days before the attack, we now know that Jussie Smollett himself sent the letter to the Empire Studios. In this letter were threats on his life, homophobic and racist slurs, and also white powdery substance, which they now believe to be aspirin, but it doesn't matter because the threat's there. And if any of y'all don't know, when you start sending threats through the mail, that's a federal crime. Federal. Mailed it himself. Federal crime. Matter of fact, so the letter gets to the Empire set, they shut down the entire set and bring in a hazmat team. So now people on set, and I'm not just talking about the actors, you got key grip, you got record keeping, you probably got the receptionists, the extras, the craft food table people bring the coffee, everyone's scared to death. Because they locked the place down. I'm trying to get you guys to understand how this is not it's a word I'm looking for. It's not isolated. This doesn't just affect one person. All right? Jussie Smollett's actions brought terror and fear wherever he went. To those immediately around him, to those in his neighborhood, to those across the state, city, and the entire country. You got little black boys and girls and gay people everywhere thinking that they might be next. And I don't know everyone's mental health throughout this country, but I'm sure people probably had panic attacks. I mean, who knows what people are going through? This dude was so irresponsible. Thank you so much for the follow. Mad appreciation on that. Hey, don't call Cardi B a trash bag whore. She's still a person. I'm a big believer, if you're going to use words to describe people, they need to be the words that actually describe people. And don't just insert insult because it sounds cool. I don't know that woman's sexual history. I don't know if she has sex for no money or not.
Gotcha, bitch.
Thanks for the follows. So, federal charges are still pending. And they still working on it. And the feds got all kinds of resources. So right now, we're just dealing with the city and state charges. And they're saying, yo, class 4 felony, maximum time is 3 years. Now, we will see if he actually does 3 years. Oh, he'll be fired tomorrow? Oh, you think so? Because guess what? Right after this happened, Mr. Smollett went back to the set. Went right back to the set. Jussie Smollett returns to Empire set after arrest for alleged stage attack. Didn't Roseanne get fired within an hour of her joke? But this dude's still working. This dude's still working. But let somebody else. Let somebody else pop off like this. I don't hate Jussie Smollett. And I don't even hate liberal news media. I just want it to be fair. Oh, they can legally fire him? I'm pretty sure there's a clause in the contract, a behavioral clause, that if you do something besmirching outside, there's all sorts of like clauses in especially entertainment contracts. You can't just go out and get drunk. You can't get a DUI or crazy shit like that. Mojo Jojo says he thought his status could shield him. So how did this whole thing come down? Well, as you know, they brought in the persons of interest for questioning the Osundaro brothers, Ola and Abel. And at first they was just talking to him and talking to him and talking to him. And they were like, yeah, we want to go now. They said, you can't go. You're detained. So they detained him for 47 hours.
Gotcha, bitch.
Thank you for the follow. Tacos coming through. Appreciate it. So they detained the Osundaro brothers for 47 hours. Now, after 48 hours, you have to let somebody go. If you don't have enough to charge them, gotta let them out. All right? 48-hour hold is what you can do to people without charging them. They said during the 47th hour, these dudes started squealing like a motherfucker. And I'm pretty sure I know what the detective said. Like, yo, we got y'all on tape buying the MAGA hat, buying the ski mask. We got y'all buying the rope. We got your text messages. We got your phone logs. We done ransacked your house. We got your guns. You already got a criminal record. Y'all doing 10 years each. In the big house. And I ain't talking about Mess's big house. Y'all doing it in the big house. Them old Sundaro brothers started snitching. Party girl says, ain't nobody taking the fall for $4,000. I ain't. Let me get caught up in some stuff and I know I can roll over on somebody else. That wouldn't happen to me. I'd be in court like this. Your Honor, I seen the whole thing. I'd be in the courtroom. I didn't do nothing. That nigga over there. Let's go look at the video again.
Fox News alert, major news.
See if I can find it. Nigerian Brothers, inside store. Can I find this? Come on, come on. Can I find this video? Is this it? That's a bad version of it. But we'll look at this one. So this is the Osundaro brothers at the hardware store. This one's really bad quality, but that's them. Look at it. There's one ski mask, another ski mask, some gloves. There's the red hat. There's the OJ gloves, looking like the isotoners. Is that a pair of safety goggles? Yep, that's safety goggles right there. For the bleach or the gasoline. I could watch this one repeat all day. Because I'm pretty sure when the detectives ran up on him like, oh, by the way, y'all trying to sit here act like all innocent and stuff and there's no connection. Bam! Got y'all asses on tape. We got y'all on tape. Wasn't hard to find you. on the 47th hour of their detainment, they started snitching. I was going to say squealing, but no, they was snitching. And I always say, like, you know, if you about to do real time and you ain't got to, yo, snitch is all right with me. I ain't doing nobody's time for some $4,000. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I hope it was $4,000 each. Well, these dudes go. I used to be the one snitching and snitching. Nah. You can snitch on this time. So they confessed. Just started doling out the info. And that's when they said they were no longer suspects. They were no longer suspects, and that's when they wanted to talk to Jussie again. By the way, there's something really important about this, and I wish there were more people in the room who could hear this. These two brothers, Abel and Ola Osundaro, they're actually still, at this moment, in police custody or under police protection. They're not at home. Now, why is that? Now, y'all know Jussie Smollett ain't coming to run up on the Osundaro brothers, right? So why would the police still be protecting them? I'd like to give you guys paint a picture for you. And this is when the politics really come in. Hemorrhoid, you're leaving? You're never coming back? Goodbye? What? What happened? Did I miss something? So listen to this, y'all.
Gotcha, bitch.
Thank you so much, Mojo Jojo. So Jussie Smollett was at the Time's Up funded event with Kamala Harris. You guys are aware of the Time's Up movement, right? Let me go find an image of this, because this is all going to come together really nice. Time's Up. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it at, though? There it is. That's what I'm looking for. So this is Jussie Smollett here, on the far left of this photo. He's at the Time's Up sponsored event. Also at this event, it's Kamala Harris. Now, why is Kamala Harris important to this story with Jussie Smollett? Well, after Smollett caused this whole outrage and whoop-de-whoop, whoop-whoop,
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
oh!
First time caller, week-long listener. Found one of my new favorite commentators. Thanks, Ryoga.
Oh! Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that, son. I wish my audio weren't doing the double thing. I need to fix that because I spent so much time making like custom alerts for like certain dollar amounts. Sit your $5 ass before I make change. So Jussie was at the Time's Up funded event with Kamala Harris. Then Jussie Smollett participates in this hoax that the media ran with and didn't question. Kamala Harris, as we spoke about last night in the chat, has a bill she's trying to push through Congress called the anti-lynching bill. Here was this a week ago. In fact, here's the headline. Kamala Harris anti-lynching bill gets a second chance at becoming law. Washington Senator Kamala Harris' efforts to make lynching a federal crime received new life Thursday when the Senate unanimously passed her bill to outlaw it. The bill which was co-authored by two other African Americans in the Senate, Democrat Cory Booker of New Jersey and Republican Tim Scott of South Carolina. I hate these pop-ups. Unanimously passed the Senate late last year, but the House did not take it up before the congressional session ended, and the bill died. So, 3 weeks ago, Jussie Smollett tells the nation that he was the victim of a lynching. Kamala Harris sends out a tweet calling what happened to Jussie Smollett a modern-day lynching. Here's from the Washington Examiner. Kamala Harris finally comments on Jussie Smollett modern-day lynching reaction to alleged MAGA attack. Let me see if I can find the video really quick, because I love that video. Here it is. Here it is. When you guys watch this, this is a woman who doesn't read her own tweets. Had no idea what was going on.
New Hampshire, as is Peter Ducey, who's live this hour in Concord. Hello, Peter.
Shep, candidates here are being confronted with questions about whether or not they were too quick to condemn the attackers in the Jussie Smollett case, including Senator Kamala Harris, who needed a minute to think about whether or not she stood by her previous comment that the attack was an attempted modern-day lynching.
Watch this.
Which tweet? What tweet?
About saying that it is a modern day lynching that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Jussie Smollett.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think that the facts are still unfolding.
Caught you slipping. They caught you slipping. Y'all see that look? What tweets? The tweets when you said that what happened to Jussie Smollett was a modern day lynching. Y'all see what she did? Which one of y'all niggas sent that tweet? I didn't do that shit. Which one of y'all did that shit for me? Which one of y'all niggas wrote that shit? It wasn't me. Y'all see how she freaked out? Let's do it one more time. I love this. I love this.
Day lynching.
Which tweet?
Which tweet?
About saying that it is a modern day lynching that.
So y'all niggas fucked me up.
Sorry.
Yes, Jussie Smollett.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think that the facts are still unfolding, and I'm very
facts are still unfolding.
Concerned about, obviously.
Oh, you don't want to talk now. You don't want to talk now because the facts are unfolding. Let's wait and see, let's wait and let the process go through. Oh, you was quick to call it a lynching on day one. Now you want to wait and see. Tweet. I don't use Instagram. So I'm trying to paint a story for you guys. Jussie's at the Time's Up event with Kamala Harris. Jussie does this bullshit ass fake lynching hoax thing. Kamala Harris uses this hoax to push a bill through Congress with Cory Booker. The hoax gets exposed, and now there's an investigation. And then, Lisa Borders has resigned as president of Time's Up movement. She and the organization announced Monday Borders is resigning due to family issues. She said in a statement, Time's Up COO Rebecca Goldman will now serve as interim CEO. Now, why is that significant? All right, this is all. I'm telling you this story because this really revolves around the brothers. So the president of the Time Ups movement resigns. Jussie Smollett participated. Kamala Harris participated. So then, the state attorney of Chicago recuses herself from the Smollett case. Kim Foxx. Let's bring her up. Fox 32. Cook County State Attorney Kim Foxx recuses herself from the Smollett case. Why?
State's Attorney Kim Foxx offered new details today explaining why she will not be getting involved in the case of Jussie Smollett, who is now facing a felony disorderly conduct charge.
Fox revealed initially only that she had recused herself because of her familiarity with some potential witnesses. Larry Yellen has
familiarity with potential witnesses. Who could that be? It seems like everyone's trying to distance themselves away from things. I'll tell you right now, she's actually really close with Kamala Harris. Very, very, very close with Kamala Harris. So I bring this up because oh yeah. Let's see. I found a tweet here from Kim Foxx. I might be able to bring it up. I'll just read it for you guys. It's on my phone. I'm so excited that Kamala Harris has decided to run for president. I would not be where I am today without her guidance during my first run of political office, and she has continued to mentor me as I work to reform criminal justice system in Cook County. And as I said, the Osundaro brothers are still under police protection. And we know Jussie Smollett ain't trying to run up on him. So, is it possible that this goes up deeper? Because they're not facing charges. They're just witnesses. But the Chicago Police Department feels concerned enough. Thanks for the follow, Weston. The Chicago Police Department feels concerned enough that they think we can't let y'all out there. Not because y'all gonna leave town and try to run, but somebody might try to get to you before you get to us. So the president of the Time's Up movement resigns. Cook County State Attorney recuses herself because she might know potential witnesses. Jussie Smollett hella close with Kamala Harris. And now the police are trying to protect those Sundaro brothers because they think there might be gunners out for them. There might be some gunners out for them. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is deep, yo. This is deep. This ain't no BS. Alright? This ain't no BS. Believe me. Y'all don't... Kamala Harris is more connected than y'all think so. And if there are two Nigerians that have a chance of taking down her presidential run, oh, she will bury them. You will never see them brothers again. She put them up in an oil drum with cement, toss them into the Hudson. So ask yourself, why do the police think the Osandaro brothers need protection? Because there's some big brothers, right? Right? Them brothers huge. I'm pretty sure they can take care of themselves. Unless they worried about getting that Kamala Harris flu. Mike Peck says, think about it. High paid attorneys on Jussie's side. BS claim of empire salary motive. Much bigger than Jussie. Yo. So they're saying the whole thing was because Mr. Smollett was upset with his salary. And that he was only getting a measly $65,000 per episode. Just such poultry money. He does 18 episodes a year. How are you supposed to live off that? $1 million. Taco 404 detective. See, these men killed themselves by shooting themselves in the back of the head twice with their own guns. Haricide. I'm not trying to be funny. Well, yeah, I am trying to be funny. Y'all see what I'm getting at. That's the only reason you protect some big ass bodybuilding Nigerians. You're worried about somebody getting to them. Ain't nobody seen them. They got them locked up, took their phones. Up in a hotel somewhere with an agent out, federal agent right now outside the door, making sure everything stays on the low low. I think I'm feeling bold right now. I think I might turn on my Discord. Actually, let me see if I can. Find the entirety. Oh, here it is. Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh, this is it. Yeah, this is the full press conference. Actually, very interested.
I'll also continue to pray for our city as we
stopped off
and through bleach and begin to heal.
Okay.
And now I'd like to call up Commander Edward Wadnicki, who personally led this patient and deliberate investigation, to walk everyone through how the Chicago Police Department arrived at this point.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Edward Wadnicki. I'm the commander of the Area Central Detective Division. I'm here to answer questions. Okay, the boss just corrected me. Please forgive me. I'm supposed to go through the timeline of our investigation. It's okay. So here's where we are.
I would love. I would love to hear the timeline.
As you all know, on the early morning of February 29th at 2 o'clock in the morning, Jussie Smollett reported that he was the victim of a hate crime. Detectives responded to the incident and interviewed him eventually at Northwestern Hospital, where he reported to us that the two offenders yelled racial and homophobic and political statements at him and beat him, put a noose around his neck, and threw bleach on him, and then fled from the area. We learned at the time that Jussie was not hurt other than scratches on his face, maybe some bruising, but no broken ribs or serious injuries. So we started a full-scale investigation into this hate crime, a very serious crime anywhere. We quickly found two persons of interest on video that we believed were the likely offenders in this case.
They quickly found two persons of interest on video. Remember, we didn't. I think it was like day 4 or 5. They held that information to themselves for quite some time.
We initially put out a seeking to identify, and we got this out in a community alert. We then started searching the area for video cameras and witnesses that could help us with our investigation. During that time frame, we interviewed over 100 individuals in a canvass of the area and a follow-up canvass as our investigation expanded. We located approximately 35 of our Chicago Police pod cameras in the area and in the areas that we determined these two persons of interest fled. We additionally found over 20 private sector cameras, and
private sector cameras would include bars, nightclubs, local CCT. You get the idea.
I got to say that was super useful in this investigation. The city came together to investigate and help the police with this crime. It was because of these pod cameras, our investment into technology in the city of Chicago, and the great assistance from the community in giving us those other cameras that led us to a really solid timeline of where our two persons of interest went. So in short, we were able to track them initially forward. So after the crime, we were able to see that they fled in a particular direction and eventually got into a cab. Our investigators located that cab, interviewed the cab driver, got some video out of that cab. Ooh. Followed that cab using all of these surveillance cameras that are located throughout the city, the pod cameras, to an area up on the north side where they abruptly stopped the cab, got out, and walked on foot. Again, the community came together to provide us with security footage from their private cameras. So at that point, we then started tracking these two persons of interest backwards to where they came from. So we followed them walking around and eventually back to where they had gotten out of a cab. So that was another individual that we had to interview and another individual where we sought video. We continued to track that cab back to the point where the cab was tracked down by our two persons of interest in a rideshare car. We then followed up on the rideshare.
Wait, so you're telling me that Abel and Ola Osandaro went to hop from 2 cabs and a Lyft and an Uber to get... This is some weird-ass, like, 007 shit going on.
And that was the lead that we needed in order to identify the two persons of interest. At that point, we had a real good timeline of where these two people went. We were able to put a name to both of these individuals, and it was at that time that we started looking at where they went right after this event. We tracked them to going to O'Hare Airport and jumping on a flight to Nigeria. Our investigation led us to determine that they had purchased a round-trip ticket with them returning to Chicago on the 13th.
This is police work right here.
2 weeks after the incident. So that gave us a couple of weeks to try to continue to follow up on any investigative lead, any investigative lead that would help us try to determine what happened in this incident. So while we were waiting for them to return, we executed over 50 search warrants and subpoenas, working with our partners in the state's attorney's office, phone records, social media records, and records on individuals to help us illuminate the likely facts that occurred in this event. So moving forward to the 13th, we had a team in place working with the FBI, Customs, and our partners out at the airport. Airport police helped us tremendously, and we were able to locate and identify these two individuals, these two persons of interest, when they entered back into the country at Customs. We took them into custody. We read them their rights, and they both initially asked for an attorney. They were brought to Area Central Detective Headquarters so that we could process them, and it was at that time that their attorney showed up. I think you've all seen her on the news the last couple of days.
Julia Smollett or Julia Smith?
Came to us.
Gloria Smith.
And after speaking with these two people of interest, she said that something smelled fishy. She did not think that they were the offenders as were reported. She worked with us very, very closely to get to the point where she came to me and said, you really need to talk to these guys. I'm going to allow them to give you a video interview with us present, and we're going to have you hear their story. They are not offenders, they're victims. It was at that time that this investigation started to spin in a completely new direction. You've heard some of the statements that their lawyer, Ms. Schmidt, has made, and it was at that time that we took the information that these two individuals provided to us, and we substantiated the timeline and the details that they gave to us in this interview. We were able to substantiate those things. We worked very, very closely with the state's attorney's office. We had been working very, very closely with the state's attorney's office for over a week at that point, and it was then on the 15th, Friday the 15th, after approximately 47 hours.
I just want to say, the woman behind him, let me move this out of the way. That was a hard-looking woman right there. That woman been through some things.
Of them being in custody and hours.
That's a hard woman right there.
Meeting with us and telling us their story and documenting their story. Did we release them without charging? And I classified them no longer as suspects or persons of interest and as witnesses. So as is typical with any investigation, one would typically lock these witnesses into a grand jury statement. Monday was a holiday, the 18th. Tuesday was the first day that we could attempt to do that. So we scheduled a appointment with the grand jury, working again very closely with the state's attorney's office in this. And as you know, at the last minute, Jussie's lawyers called and said that they had evidence to postpone the grand jury that they wanted to provide to us. It was at that time that they called us, and I met with them, with a team of our detectives, and essentially they gave us no new information. So I reported that back.
So Jussie's lawyers were not helpful
to the state's attorney's office, and it was at that time that we locked in both of these witnesses to the grand jury. I'm told they did an excellent job, and then the state's attorney's office approved charges against Jussie for the Class 4 disorderly conduct false police report. We met with with Jussie's attorneys, and we arranged for him to turn himself in. And as you all know, he turned himself in at 5 o'clock this morning in the 1st District in Chicago. Today at 1:30, Jussie will be going in front of a bond court judge, and the bond court hearing will be conducted at 26th in California. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
What can you tell turned himself in this morning?
Well, it was uneventful. He showed up, of course, with his attorneys and a few other individuals, but it went smoothly.
Superintendent Johnson, if you had enough evidence to just charge him, why take it to a grand jury?
Because that's typically what we do. Once we believe that witnesses are valuable witnesses and credible, then we take them to the grand jury to lock their testimonies in.
Superintendent Johnson, can you go into the motive a little more? I think I'm also hearing for the first time. You said that he sent that false letter to himself, and you also said that he was dissatisfied with his salary. Did you get that information from the two brothers?
Yes.
Okay, so the brothers said that he was dissatisfied with his salary.
Well, a number of individuals. You know, we serve subpoenas and warrants, of course, on Mr. Smollett, his manager for phone records, the two people of interest that we had. And so we still have quite a few search warrants and subpoenas out there that we're waiting to come back.
You talked about the detectives and the amount of resources that went into this case. Can you quantify how many man-hours went into this, how many detectives worked this case, and also can you confirm that detectives working the case from the February 7th shooting that one year pulled from that case?
We didn't pull resources from any shootings or homicide investigations. The detectives that you see behind me basically work on different teams, which include property crimes and things of that nature. We don't have the exact numbers yet, but let me just tell you all this. Anytime a hate crime is reported in the city of Chicago, it gets the same attention. This didn't get any special attention. You all gave this more attention specifically than we do.
Oh, you get mad.
We give every hate
You
crime
get mad.
in this city the same amount of vigor because there's no place for hatred in this city. And as I said in the very beginning, you know, I lived in the city of Chicago my entire life. We just don't have any room for hatred in this city. And for somebody to use it for personal gain, it's shameful because what that does is take away the resources that we could be
looking
putting
like the
into
Jacksons.
other crimes. Say again?
So the brothers be implicated for sending the letter in any sense? If the feds decide to look into that, would you have anything to say to the feds about the cooperation and whether or not you want to pursue charges?
That's the FBI's investigation.
So, I don't know if you guys can hear that. The individual was asking about the letter.
You think the brothers could be implicated vis-a-vis the letter?
Say again?
So the brothers be implicated for sending the letter in any sense? If the feds decide to look into that, would you have anything to say to the feds about the cooperation and whether or not you want to pursue charges?
That's the FBI's investigation, so CPD doesn't comment on the FBI's investigation.
So again, Mr. Smollett is facing federal charges in addition to local and state charges.
Gloria Schmidt told the media after the grand jury was finished that the current narrative that's out there about how much Jussie allegedly paid the brothers was incorrect. Can the police speak to what evidence they may have that, you know, Jussie orchestrated this attack, asked the brothers to carry out this attack, and was there any evidence of money payments to the brothers?
Yeah, we have evidence. We have the check that
The reporter asked, do you have any evidence that Jussie Smollett paid these brothers to orchestrate the attack?
And was there any evidence of money?
Any evidence of money transferred?
Yeah, we have evidence. We have the check that he used to pay them. So the $3,500 was for the two of them in total, and then $500 upon return.
This nigga wrote a check. This nigga wrote a check. This dumb, ignorant ass wrote a check to the two people that he's trying to keep on the low. He's trying to keep it on the low, and he wrote a check. First of all, who writes checks? Anybody in this room? Press 1 if you've written a check in the past year. I'll wait. Has anybody in this room wrote a check in the past year? No? No? Anybody? Nope. Nope. He wrote a check. Wrote one check. 8 months ago. Close enough. He wrote a check! This nigga dumb! I just want to hear it one more time. It makes me laugh from a healthy place.
Paid the brothers was incorrect. Can the police speak to what evidence they may have that, Jussie orchestrated this attack, asked the brothers to carry out this attack, and was there any evidence of...
That's like $1,500 each. That's like rent. That's like rent for the month.
Yeah, we have evidence. We have the check that he used to pay them.
Man, that's some Curb Your Enthusiasm shit right there.
So the $3,500 was for the two of them in total, and then $500 upon return.
Was there like an attack on the street, or did it take place somewhere else? How did that work?
No, it took place right there. So of course it was staged.
Yo, couldn't he like Venmo these dudes? Like over time? He couldn't go to the ATM? I mean, the dude got $1 million in the bank. He got an album out. He does shows. You can't tell me this dude ain't got $1 million. I know if you live in a life, $1 million ain't a lot of money, but you can't tell me this dude ain't got $1 million somewhere. $1,500 to take the fall, man. Not only cheapskate, just did not care about them. Didn't care about them.
The brothers had on gloves during the staged attack where they punched him a little bit, but as far as we can tell, the scratches and bruising that you saw on his face was most likely self-inflicted.
Didn't I say from the get that the scratches were self-inflicted? Yep. Did I not say, because there are 3 scratches, 3 of the same distance, 1, 2, 3, all equally like an inch each. I told y'all. And they knew it too. Everybody knew. I knew it from the jump, which is why it's so crazy to me that so many people fell for this. And I said it before, I didn't pull this out of my hat like a magician. I took the evidence that they gave us with my own life experiences, and I'm not even a detective. I could have told you from the get-go. I was like, wait a minute. Ain't no MAGA hat wearing people out at 2 a.m. in sub-freezing temperatures during the polar vortex. Wait a minute. Ain't no dude sitting at the park bench hanging out after 2 a.m. Wait a minute. You tell me 2 white dudes put the hurting on you in a racially homophobic charged attack where they specifically sought you out and you ain't got no black eyes? Wait a minute. You tell me you left the noose on you around your neck? Wait a minute. You told the police to turn off the body cams when they got to your place? Wait a minute. You wouldn't give up your phone records to corroborate that you was on your phone with the manager at the time? Wait a minute. They released the photos of these big-ass black dudes that I could see were black. Wait a minute. In Streeterville. Fucking gay-ass black neighborhood out there. He paid guys to hit him, and he still had to do it self-inflicted.
So let me reiterate again.
It's like, how did it feel when you guys figured out the motive?
You all heard me say consistently that we were treating Mr. Smollett like a victim, and we did. We might have had some peculiarities with the case, as we do with most cases. So it wasn't until the 47th hour of their 48-hour hold time that we could legally hold him in custody that it took a change. So we gave him the benefit of the doubt up until that 47th hour. But when we discovered the actual motive, quite frankly, it pissed everybody off, because we have to invest valuable resources. A lot of what I want you all to really understand is when you all put things out there into the universe that's not actual facts, then it causes us to have to chase all that stuff down. Those are resources and time spent that we'll never get back, that we could utilize for another investigation. And let me be clear about something. The shootings and homicides in this city were not impacted at all by this particular investigation. And again, we give the same amount of resources to every hate crime that's reported in this city.
Done out of camera, did they know where the cameras were?
I think that they knew where that one camera was, but unfortunately it didn't capture the event. So I believe that Mr. Smollett wanted it on camera, but unfortunately that particular camera wasn't pointing in that direction.
Search warrants were executed on Mr. Smollett's manager. Is the Chicago Police Department looking at Mr. Smollett's manager?
No, not at this time.
Mr. Smollett said that he was on the phone with his manager at
Yes.
the time. Was the manager, Brandon Moore, involved with this? Did he know it was a ruse?
He was on the phone, but whether or not he knew it was a ruse, we can't speak to right now.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! What did he just say? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, we dropped some knowledge for a moment. Hold on.
Wasn't pointing in that direction.
Search warrants were executed on Mr. Smollett's manager. Is the Chicago Police Department looking at Mr. Smollett's manager?
No, not at this time.
Are we looking into Mr. Smollett's manager? Not at this time.
Mr. Smollett said that he was on the phone with his
He was on the phone with his manager.
Yes.
Was the manager, Brandon Moore,
Was the manager aware,
involved with this?
or was he involved?
He was on the phone, but whether or not he knew it was a ruse, we can't speak to right now.
He was on the phone, but whether he knew it was a ruse or not, we can't speak to. We can't speak to. Now, this goes back to body language, y'all. Everything that is definitively a no, he said no to. Not at this time. He shut anything that isn't true, he is immediately shut down throughout this whole interview. This, he says we can't speak to. Bruh. Y'all watching this with me, right? You guys are watching this with me, right? One more time.
Is the Chicago Police Department looking at Mr. Smollett's manager?
No, not at this time.
We're not looking at him at this time.
Yes.
He was on the phone. Yes. Definitive. Definitive, yes. Yes, he was on the phone at this time. No, we're not looking into him. It said definitive yes and no's.
He was on the phone, but whether or not he knew it was a ruse, we can't speak to right now.
We can't speak to right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've watched a lot of footage of Eddie Johnson, and I'm starting to get a feeling of his mannerisms when he's being definitive and clear, or when he's being quiet because he can't say something or because it might compromise the investigation. And this is a veteran of the force, so he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's saying, and he knows how to say it. This isn't his first rodeo. When he says we can't speak to it, means that not only him but the rest of his team already know what's up. So does the manager have some weight in this?
Interviewing
Does his manager know Kamala Harris? That's what I want to know.
At some point, we'll talk to him.
Ooh, at some point we'll talk to him. Listen to the inflection in his voice.
He was on the phone, but whether or not he knew it was a ruse, we can't speak to right now. At some point, we'll talk to him.
Oh, look how cool he's. At some point, we'll talk to him. Coming for your ass!
At one point, when this case started getting pretty thick, people started pointing things like the police department. How did you take that when you saw people started talking negatively about the issues that were going on in the city?
It was upsetting, you know, and I want you all to realize this. So we've been working on this investigation for about 3 weeks. We've solved several shootings and homicides in that period of time. So we don't take away resources from violent crimes of that nature just because this person is a celebrity. Again, you all gave this a lot more attention than it probably deserves. So when you get the opportunity, the shooting victims and families in this city that are victims of those crimes, give them the same amount of attention. This shouldn't have garnered the attention that it did, but it did because of his celebrity status.
Practice the hate crime before it actually happened. So if that was the case, why are they not being charged, or in that situation, should they be charged? How are you guys figuring that out?
So Mr. Smollett is the one that orchestrated this crime. They became cooperating witnesses in the 47th hour of their 48-hour hold time. So now they are witnesses to what he did. So he has to be accountable for what he did. He orchestrated this.
Does being accountable mean?
So they're asking why the brothers aren't being charged, and he's explaining that this is entirely orchestrated by Mr. Smollett. Keep in mind, the brothers have done nothing illegal. If I ask somebody to punch me in the face, then that's mutual combat. If I'm at that point, they're becoming not surrogates, but they're becoming contractors. He paid them for services, and they did the services that they were paid to do. So even if they had committed, well, maybe not entirely. I was going to say, like, even if they did commit a violation or illegal act, it would still be on the weight would still be on Jussie Smollett, because he would be their employer at the time, and everything he did, everything they did was at the behest of the employer. Lucas Ryan says, to me it seems more like something they aren't really considering right now. I think they're focusing on Jussie, so the manager is a bit of an afterthought. That is far most likely the situation. But he did say, like, yeah, we coming to see you.
He should have to pay all the money back that was invested.
Oh, there we go. Will he have to pay all the money back?
Well, I think that's a subject for another day, but of course, it's because of what he did that we had to invest all these resources. He hasn't made any statements at this time.
Do you have text messages?
No.
Do you have text messages between?
Kim Fox's decision to recuse herself of that speed in solving this case and bringing charges.
No, Kim Fox and I, look, I'm the police superintendent. She's Cook County State's attorney. So we talk almost every day about different cases. So the fact that she recused herself didn't impact the case at all.
Did she drag her feet in any way?
Say again?
Did she drag her feet on this in any way?
Listen, we have a great relationship with our federal partners, and we certainly need to have a good relationship with our state's attorney's office, which we did. So again, you all have to remember, the erroneous rumors and innuendo that was put out there in the beginning was just that. This investigation didn't turn in the direction of Mr. Smollett being a defendant until the 47th hour.
Jussie's mother's maiden name is Harris. Kamala is Auntie Harris. Or Auntie, Kamala's Auntie Harris. That is highly possible. I've seen photos of them together. Yeah, it's highly possible.
Hour that we had those two individuals in custody. So one more hour we would have had to let them go. We may not be here today. So the state's attorney didn't drag anything. We needed to put the case together. These things take time. This isn't TV. Okay, this is real life. So it takes time.
Do you text? Superintendent, there were a lot of leaks in this case. Was that intentional?
Two-star Pitbull. Yo, that's a hard woman. Wait. The woman on the right? Two-star Pitbull in the back right.
Well, who's to say the leaks came from us? Just because there are leaks out there doesn't necessarily mean it came from CPD. You know, I heard particular things that were out there that I knew was simply untrue. So it doesn't mean it came from the police department.
Do you have text messages or other exchanges between the brothers and Jussie?
We have the phone records that clearly indicate that they talked to each other quite a bit before the incident, after the incident, and while they were out of the country. Yes. Yes.
Do you know that Smollett tried to make contact or made contact with the brothers after the attack?
You mean right after, like moments afterwards?
The attack or attempted to make contact and resolve?
Yeah, I just said. So we know that they talked at least an hour or so before the attack, an hour or so after the attack, and then while they were out of the country. We know that they were talking.
Did he try to recruit any other people to stage this attack, or were the brothers his first choice?
I don't know if they were his first choice, but that's who ultimately did it, but we don't have any evidence to suggest that.
That the brothers might be victims in this. What did you mean by that?
That the brothers might be victims?
Were they coerced somehow or manipulated or how would you describe them?
He didn't say that.
Yeah, boss, I think that I think the fact that this was staged and that Jussie hired these two guys to stage this for his benefit and then spin this into a criminal investigation put
Mike Peck says Don Lemon was contacted by the guy who was with Jussie at the hospital in the middle of the night, obviously trying to get a jump on the media. I really think Lee Daniel has something to do with this. I really, really, really think that there is a connection with Lee Daniels. I'm not sure how much I'm willing to talk on it, but I haven't been wrong yet. I have not been wrong yet on anything involving this case. And I really, really, really think Lee Daniels has something to do with this.
In a really tough spot as well, to the point where now they were arrested for a hate crime, and only because of just the incredible work by the entire team did we get to the point where we're able to get the truth from them, and now we are where we are today.
Commander, why did Smollett hire those two brothers? I mean, can you describe what their
Because they was big and black. That's why he hired them.
So one of the brothers worked on Empire, so they had a relationship, an association. So he probably knew that he needed somebody with some bulk, and he knew them. They had a previous relationship, so that's probably the only reason he chose them.
Sir, did you see Jussie's interview on Good Morning America? Good Morning America. Good Morning America. Did you see the interview on ABC?
I didn't see the entire thing. I saw a couple of parts of it, and to be quite honest, it's shameful, you know, because it painted this city that we all love and work hard in a negative connotation, you know.
He was done when he sent out the letters.
A hate crime of that nature.
Dunzo.
He knew as a celebrity it would get a lot of attention. It's just despicable, you know. It makes you wonder what's going through someone's mind to do something like that. So yeah, I saw a couple of parts of it, and I was angered by it, to be quite honest.
There were two cabs. They took a ride share to the crime, or on the way to the crime. Then they took a regular yellow cab afterwards.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the ride share, which you have a profile for it, it has their identity, but you guys could be able to figure out who these guys were.
Well, you know what, that certainly helped, and you know, their counter information on that really pinpointed who they were. But who's to say whether or not we would have or not? You know, these let me tell you this: these individuals you see standing behind me, the detectives in Chicago, in my opinion, are probably some of the best detectives in this country.
And
so
that's right. The feds have not brought charges yet.
This, you know.
Oh shit! They shut the lights off on them.
Okay. Yeah, that's last call before closing.
I said, you got to get the hell out now.
As you see standing behind me, the detectives in Chicago, in my opinion, are probably some of the best detectives in this country. So I have no doubt that they would have gotten to the bottom of this. You know, uh-oh, is that? Okay. Yeah, that's last call before closing.
Was reported that you all figure out or think that something doesn't add up.
Well, to be perfectly honest, from the very beginning, we had some questions about it. But as I said, we gave Mr. Smollett the benefit of the doubt all the way up until that 47th hour.
Alphabet Boys, oh yeah.
To hold those two individuals because we just didn't have the total package to support that it was a hoax. So when you heard me coming out saying we are treating him like a victim, that was the truth because at that time that's what he was. And I think anybody that reports a crime deserves the Chicago Police Department to treat them in that fashion until we have solid evidence to prove otherwise. The boy in the back.
By the check, but did they indicate anything else that made them do this? Why they agreed to do it, and what they thought the outcome would be?
Well, you know what? They did it because of the financial aspect of it.
$1,500.
Now, whether or not they knew the whole thing would go the way that it did, and I can tell you all with 100% certainty, the way that they carried this out, there was never a thought in their mind that we would be able to track them down because these detectives, they put in intense work and just great work. And I cannot say how incredibly proud I am of them for the work that they put into it. But that's just an example of the work that they do every day that just goes unreported because it doesn't get the media attention that this particular case got. But it was financial gain.
Why are you calling her 2-star? Oh, yeah, because she's 2-star. I see. She is 2-star.
Well, he identified who those two individuals were. You know, we knew that then, but he didn't know that we knew. But, yeah, he helped us out when he identified them.
That's the way he snitched on himself. that's the way to say it. Let me back that up.
Identified who these brothers were. But that's just an example of
let's hear this again.
Every day that just goes unreported because it doesn't get the media attention that this particular case got. But it was financial gain. Last question.
Did Good Morning America play any role in the investigation in that Jussie essentially identified who these brothers?
Did it play any role in the investigation that Jussie essentially identified the persons of interest?
Well, he identified who those two individuals were. You know, we knew that then, but he didn't know that.
We knew who it was. He didn't know that we knew at the time who it was. So before this even went down, they're like, yeah, we knew who it was before he even said anything. And once he opened up his mouth, and that was the Monday. Y'all remember? It was the Monday when he said, yes, he confirmed on the ABC News interview, yes, these are the people who attacked me. Once he identified them, that's when the cops, bam!
We knew, but yeah, he helped us out when he identified them.
Look at him laughing. He's like, that nigga snitched on himself. Ha ha.
So they identify the brothers specifically with all of the video surveillance. When was it in the investigation when we realized their names and who they were?
Alright, to be fair to the brothers, I don't think they released how public it was going to become. $1,500 is just considering punching someone isn't too bad. Yeah. Bruh, don't hate on the 2-star. I bet she could still had her. Oh, fuck yeah. I ain't hating. Did you see the video of the woman getting fired on today, point blank, and stayed Friday? Frosty? No. You have to, and afraid you have to show me that in a bit. Yo, I'm not hating on the pit bull right there at all. Some of the strongest. Yo, I got my ass. So y'all know I've been fighting for like 8 years. Like, one of my early fights was with a woman, and she fucked me up at every turn. I was at just fists and shit. Pop, 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 pop. I went in there sparring, thinking like, okay, you know, we gonna fight. Blah, 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 blah. Tore my ass up. And that's a hard woman right there.
That was after the ride share account, yes. Remember what day that was?
So
okay.
The one piece of evidence then just confirming that he wanted was not found on camera, the roughhousing the minor.
No.
stage beating. It's not on camera or anything.
That was the one piece. We have about, I would say about 2 hours of footage back and forth, and those few minutes were not on footage. Say again? We don't know. Yeah.
She asked did they actually pour bleach on him. They say they don't know.
Okay, thank you all.
That's interesting because they did take the jacket, and I assume they would have done testing on the jacket. But they're saying at this time they don't know.
Say again?
Can you go into a little bit more detail about what it was in the 47th hour that...
Well, that's at the 47th hours when the two brothers decided, like the commander reiterated, that with the help of their lawyer, they decided to confess to the entirety of what the plot was.
Superintendent, you said you want Smollett to be held accountable. You said...
Say that again?
You said you want Smollett to be held accountable. I'm curious, what is justice in your eyes?
Absolute justice would be an apology to this city that he smeared.
That man's angry.
Admitting what he did, and then be man enough to offer what he should offer up in terms of all the resources.
Well, there you go. Pay the man his money. That's what he wants. Pay the man. Oh yeah, mad respect for Chief Johnson. Mad respect. That dude is a credit to the force. And yeah, just a credit. All right, let's take a short moment because I want to look at some of the hashtags that are still floating around. Justice, I stand with Jussie, because people still buying it. Thank you so much, Pixel Monkey. Show is kind of scuffed tonight. It's not as concise as normally we are. Usually I only stream for an hour, and it's like an hour and 30 minutes. Like I got a good hour of like excitement and this and talking shit, and after that hour I'm like, I kind of like, but there's still people watching, so. Oh no, well see, this dude, everyone keeps saying like, oh, he'll get a slap on the wrist. He ain't. He's not. In fact, that entire press conference was the chief of police saying to the judge, throw the book at him. Throw the book at him. Here's 50 Cent T-porn tweet to Lee Daniels. Little LOL bad acting, Lee. If we find out you knew about this shit, Power Season 6 coming soon. Did he really say that? Because I think Lee Daniels is in on it. What we got here? Hey, y'all. I'm back in the game. Tell me how the video of them buying this stuff has the date of today. Like that means there's no solid proof of when they purchased this stuff. Everything's too fishy. What? I stand with Jussie. Y'all know damn well this man's not lying. You either blatantly choosing to ignore that an openly gay black man like Jussie was finally attacked, or you just want to jump on the he's lying bandwagon. I genuinely feel bad for Jussie Smollett, not having the support of your people, especially the black LGBTQ community. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. Too easy to paint false narratives these days that can go both ways in this difference. Go both ways with this. Difference is Jussie Smollett had nothing to gain from this, but others with the agenda did. Sad. Hashtag Jussie Smollett. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. Chicago is full of systemic racism and racist cops, so instead of blaming Jussie for him actually being attacked, start looking into anyone else who could pay off people to attack him. It could have literally been anyone. Clap, clap, clap. I stand with Jussie. Hashtag he has no motive to attack himself. This whole thing smells like someone setting him up. He was supposed to meet someone from a dating site. Then they ended up attacking him. Now the police turn it on him. I hope he sues the Chicago police. Hashtag justice for Jussie. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. Hashtag nothing good happens at 2 a.m. This is on February 16th. Here's a hoax for you. White people should be allowed to voice their garbage opinions on Twitter instead of being rounded up and re-educated. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. What? Oh, this is a hoax. Here's a hoax for you. White people should be allowed to voice their garbage opinions on Twitter instead of being rounded up and re-educated. That's just stupid. That's dumb. So much anti-white hate on Twitter. I heard he paid the 2 Nigerians men by check. Yes, we talked about that earlier, about a check. With a check. This one's from 11 minutes ago. People still don't buy it. That's what's crazy to me. People still don't buy it. There are still people at this moment using the hashtag I stand with Jussie. Oh, please. You can't place cops and trust in the same sentence. Hashtag wake up. Hashtag I stand with Jussie from the Tuskegee Project. That wasn't the cops. Project to George Jennings Jr. to Trayvon Martin to Sandra Bland. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. Smollett's legal team. Today we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in American legal system. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in the search for justice, was trampled on at the expense of Mr. Smollett, and notably on the eve of a mayoral event. Mr. Smollett is a young man of impeccable character and integrity who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing. Lucas Ryan says people genuinely believe that just because someone is gay and black that they can't possibly do anything wrong. That's facts, yo. Some people are just unwilling to believe that people of marginalized communities could do any wrong. Liberal hypocrisy at its finest in one tweet calls those who have knee-jerk reactions against Jussie Smollett racist, and others call people of color who don't support Jussie Uncle Toms. I stand with Jussie. Jussie Smollett. Hold on. Into the fray with the $4.99. Real quick off topic. How long have you been a screwhead? Screwhead? I don't know what that means. Thank you for the $5, but I do not know what a screwhead is. Is this something I should Google? Sean Carter says Twitter is great. It's an echo chamber for people who don't speak their minds any other time in their life except when hiding behind a keyboard. Imagine if Jussie won and he could continue playing the victim. This is true. Oh, Chopped and Screwed Minute. I'm more into mashups than chopped and screwed music. I use chopped and screwed music because I rarely get YouTube copyright strikes when I do that. But now I'm kind of at that point where I don't really care anymore. So, as long as my feed's available and up to go, like, fuck it. But some of it's really good. Some of it's really good. Twitter, go you get what you're looking for, etc. Yeah, yeah. I agree. Amy and other people of color who don't support Jussie are simply Uncle Toms, desperate for the approval of the man. MLK didn't go through what he did for that decades later. Wait, MLK, Martin Luther King didn't go through what he did so that decades later blacks would still feel the need to suck up to the man and accept his narrative, which is exactly what you're doing. Shameful. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. Call me stupid, but I still don't believe he faked it. I need some more evidence. Hashtag I stand with Jussie. You are stupid. I mean, he asked. Call him stupid. So I'm just fulfilling the request. Hey Arsenal, how you doing again? Here's another one. You have betrayed people of color everywhere with this ridiculous tweet. The facts aren't even all in yet, and you've already convinced. Hashtag I stand with Jussie.
That I wanted to make really quick. Just because it's
all the way. So by the way, this is at his concert 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles. There's only 4 things written on that sheet of paper. Why he needed to bring it out to read it, I don't understand. If you can't remember 4 points to talk to an audience, yeah.
Make really quick. Just because it's 4 points.
4 points.
My little sister is literally like Olivia Pope, like she's in the back. I was bruised, but my ribs were not cracked. They were not broken.
Shameful. He's lying to all these people.
I went to the doctor immediately. Frank Gatson drove me. I was not hospitalized. Both my doctors in LA and Chicago cleared me to perform, but said to take care, obviously. And above all, I fought the fuck back.
You lying? Lying, son of a bitch, you. Lies. All lies. All lies. Chicago Police Department is calling Brandon Moore, Jussie's manager, not a suspect, but rather a cooperating witness. 18 hours ago. All right. We'll see what goes down. Gullible. Some people are astounding. Yeah. No, there are people who are truly astounding. Why is Charles Barkley trending? Uh-oh. Whoa, hold on. What did Charles Barkley say about?
They will not get in the playoffs. Well, I got to say what you say.
He's writing down your comment about the Lakers not making the playoffs. So it can go on the wall.
And that Sacramento will.
And Sacramento
will. Don't you want to say what you have to say?
Yeah, I was gonna go with Houston as Ernie goes over there. I was gonna talk about Ernie. What's the most ridiculous one over there that's still living that you would say has no chance of happening?
Two black guys beating a black guy up
and having that's not on here, man. The Clippers will not make the playoffs. And
what kind of hats they had on the shot?
Magas hat. I think that's probably it. Okay. The Lakers will not make the playoffs. The Kings will is the latest.
That's
edition.
dirty,
Go ahead,
yo.
Kenny. I can't believe you, Chuck.
You pay him with cash?
Chuckster.
You pay him with cash or you write him a check, Chuck?
Wrote him a check.
Hey, America.
How?
America. Let me just tell you something.
What's that?
Do not commit crimes with checks. Come on, man. You cannot, if you're going to break the law, do not write a check.
Because you're writing a check that what? Behind can't cash.
Yo, man, you can use cash up. Hey, get cash, man. I never used the ATM. Now, you can only, I heard you can only get $200 out of it. 500.
Stop, literally.
Now,
Stop.
okay, certainly. You got to make a lot of stops to the ATM.
Gotta make a lot of stops to the ATM. Oh. And this is why Charles Barkley is trending right now.
Don't commit. Jussie, you wasted America. Hey, Jack, don't commit. Jussie, you wasted all that damn time and money. You know what you should have did?
What's that?
Just went up in Liam Neeson's neighborhood. Solved all your damn problems. Charles.
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official card of the NBA.
Ooh, that's dirty. Said he just hung out with Liam Neeson. This would have gone a lot better that way. Dirty. So dirty. Alright, guys. I think I'm about done. I think we've seen enough tonight. You're 8th generation from Florida. That's why a few months I'm packing my wife and business and moving out of this godforsaken state. Yeah, yo. Let's look at a few more tweets and then we'll call it a night. Jussie Smollett feels betrayed by a system that wants to skip due process. Let's go look for the latest. The only people Jussie Smollett has set back by a number of years is stupid motherfuckers. Yeah, that's true. That's the truth, though. You think Jussie Smollett is the only black dude to fake a hate crime? Jerry Springer says Jussie Smollett should have worked for a pay raise. Leave it to an old rich Jewish man to tell a gay black man to work harder if he wants more money. If you really believe that Jussie Smollett paid these damn fools to beat his ass until one of his damn ribs damn near got removed from his damn body, you are a damn fool. I feel sorry for you. So just because they are black, they deserve some barrier from criticism. That implies they're disadvantaged class. Ryan is pretty racist. Okay, well, yeah, it's probably nothing good here. What? When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. Jussie made a script move with this lie and created national outrage, and he's probably going to be arrested, which he was. Okay, so then let's make sure we petition for Ryan Lockhart, or Ryan Lachey, to not be a part of the 2020 Olympics. I seem to remember he lied about being attacked and robbed in Brazil. No, actually, no, he didn't lie about being attacked and robbed in Brazil. He did get attacked by the workers of the gas station he was at. He made it more than what it was, but there was an actual confrontation. He broke a mirror, and they wanted him to pay like $800 for a broken mirror at a gas station in Brazil, and he wasn't having it. Oh well. That's how I remember the case anyway. Uh-oh. Ann Coulter on Smollett. All hate crimes are hoaxes. Oh, Miss Coulter. Wait, what? Van Jones said what? Bizarro, Van Jones says Jussie Smollett has put his Jackie Robinson-like icon status in jeopardy. And people, what?
Look, I mean, this is the fall of an icon. And I don't think people understand how important he has been in the black community. Empire as a show.
Yeah.
To have him as a beloved character, I think did a great deal to knock back homophobia in the black community. The fact that Empire has been celebrated, the fact that he has been celebrated, and you see homophobia in the black community through his eyes on this show. This is a Jackie Robinson against homophobia in the black community, an icon, a beloved icon. And now you have the fall of an icon at a time when we need icons, when we need heroes, when we need people who stand up. So the level of betrayal, if this is true,
yes,
is so deep. You can see it in your voice. You can see it in your face. It's almost hard to get the words out because of how beloved he has been and how hurt we were when we thought that he had been hurt. And so I want to just say that we still don't know everything. And I don't want to see us rush to judgment on this side, rush to judgment on that side, condemn this, condemn that.
Oh, now you don't want to rush to judgment. Now everybody wants to slow down. Wait for all the facts to come out. Wasn't it just 30 days ago when they were screaming at the Covington kids, saying they was all racist, MAGA hat wearing Trump supporters, and they attacked an elderly Native American? Now everybody's like, whoa. I think it's important thing to take away tonight is that Ryoga's title, Jussie Smollett Ruined Black History Month. He has been the attention of the entire month instead of the history of oppression and struggle advancement. That's true. True that.
That's the part of the thing we've been talking about is that we're now in this cycle where everybody's got to have an instant, complete opinion every 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But your network also participated in that, Mr. Jones.
I don't want to do that. What I do want to say is that whatever he is going through to do what he did has hurt the cause against racism and the cause against homophobia, if it's true. If there is any way that this can be redeemed, I hope it can be, but he owes those same young black gay men that he was addressing in that interview, he owes them not just an apology, but a lifetime of atonement, because this ain't nothing to play with. This ain't nothing to play with. And if he was playing with it, shame on him.
Just like Wu-Tang. Ain't nothing to play with. All right, Van Jones, you kind of made it up towards the end. Yeah, I'll give you a pass on that one. It wasn't entirely bad. Oh, I know about some Indian casinos. All right, guys. We're at 1 minute, 59 seconds. Or 1 minute, or 1 hour, 1 hour and 59 minutes and 35 seconds. So I'm going to make this a 2-hour stream on the dot. Thank you all for coming in. Totally appreciate it. Peace out, everyone who came in and donated and liked and subscribed and clicked and made comments. I love metrics. Metrics are awesome. All right, I got 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Yo, you guys are here. Peace out, stay black, and if you're not back, just be proud of